Hi there. Hi, good afternoon. I'm Xinlong, and this project is cooperated by Stellar Development Foundation with the supervision of Java and Ank and Giuliano. So first, thanks for them for their tutorial and encouragement. And let's go to this part. So the first about me, I'm from the program of financial technology and with background in computer science. And for this project, you can see that we can divide the research into two parts. The first is look at the historical data to the AMM-DEX for their liquidity of the Uniswap, and we also extend this pattern to the Stellar X of our partners. And the next part is about the prediction of future. Yeah, let's review back. The first part is for the use a statistical method such as panel regression and the correlation or the descriptive analysis to explore the pattern of the Uniswap. And the next part is predict the future. Yeah, using machine learning algorithms to predict that and to explore how the market indicators will improve the prediction performance. And you can see there are a lot of indicators for the crypto market. Theoretically, we can get almost any data from the blockchain, but we only pick some representative indicators such as price volatility and number of transactions and the concentration, as well as the sentiment of the traders. So let's give you a background of the DeFi and decentralized exchange, the DEX. It's very famous that for the DeFi summer 2020, it will come a prosperity of the DeFi world, especially for the DEX. And the most interesting part is for the automatic market maker decentralized exchange. So it could be traded at any time. It's 7 days plus 24 hours, but actually it's not perfect. You can see the concept of it may be counterintuitive. It's difficult to understand. And it maybe has slippage on the transactions, especially for the large transactions, and as well as the confirmation delay and the volatile liquidity. So we want to focus on the liquidity. And first, let's tell you how the liquidity impacts on the price of the swaps. So generally, there are two kinds of the transactions. The first is about the swap, swap token A to token B. And the second category is for the providing liquidity, is deposit your token in the liquidity pool, as well as you can withdraw them back to reduce the liquidity. I think the most interesting and the most primary transaction on the DEX is for the swap, because it provides liquidity for one token and also reduce the liquidity for other token. And the reason why the liquidity is so important for the DEX is the AMM-DEX is you can see there is a good example here. You deposit token A and you will take the token B. And for the normal cases, you can see it's in the middle position of this chart. You can see the token A and token B keep the suitable ratio to the exchange. But we can imagine that if we put them to an extreme case, especially the shallow pool, or you want to take a large transaction, you provide so many token A here, but you only get a few token B. That's what we want and makes the investor sad. So that's the reason why we need to explore how the liquidity will change on the AMM-DEX. Let's talk about the data sample. We focus on the first half of the 2022. And here is the most popular pools for the Uniswap is with the average daily trading volume over $1 million in the past years. And there are 68 pools, and this token contains for this most popular pools. You can see that there are a lot of stable coins. The Uniswap. Oh, forgot to mention that we use the data for Uniswap V3, not for V2, and because V3 provide more opportunity for the stable coins rather than non-stable coins, even though they are relatively fewer than the non-stable coins. And I categorize this token into 5 categories and selected some representative tokens. The first is the core cryptocurrency, it's Bitcoin and Ether. It's very popular, you know. And the second and 3 is, as the previous mentioned by my friend Jason, you know, the regular stable coin is backed by the fiat, or the commodity is for the USDC, USDT, and BNC, USDs. I call them the regular stable coins. And another type is for the algo stable coins, is for the DAI stable coin and the magic internet money and Frax. You know, their mechanism may be different because that for especially for the demand and the price, you know, there's some algorithm will force the price back to the average line. So it's different from this regular stable coin. And the last 2 categories for the DeFi platform and NFT platform is for the native token, and some investor may be interested with that. So let's, for the first part of the methodology is for the panel regression, and we will run the 2 batches. The first is on the whole sample, and the next is for the 5 other categories. And we set the dependent variables as the total reserve of the liquidity, total reserve of tokens to evaluate the liquidity, even though many investors make more sense for the dollars by the amount of the trading. But actually the quantity of the total reserves is more sensitive in our case. And here are the 4 dimensions of the variables, and there are price, volatility, Bitcoin price, and for the network there are number of transactions. For the concentration is measured by the proportion of the wealth. The wealth is the address hold more than 1% of the circulating supply. And the next is for the sentiment index on Twitter. Let's see the result. The first is for the whole sample. You can see almost all the indicators present a significant impact on the total reserves. But we will discuss more on specific categories. And you can see there are huge information. So we directly go to the conclusion. You can see that the Bitcoin price is most valuable. It provides a positive impact for all categories of the tokens. But before that, we have to mention that we could explain this and interpret this by the demand of the tokens, because we observe the transactions of providing liquidity, you know, for just as a liquidity provider. We monitor the LP tokens issue, and there are a few changes contribute to the change of the total reserves. So let's go to other indicators. The price go up, and you know, maybe the demand of the token also go up, and then the total, you may want to change your token to other token. Yeah, so the total reserves of this token will go down. But it's only for the non-stable coins, because the stable coins only show the price change is very stable. For your reference, you can see the stable coin keeps their volatility within 5%, and the non-stable may be over 100, but generally 60%. Also, you can see the volatility and the negative number of transactions and the concentration sentiment generally show the negative impact for the total reserves, but limited for some categories. And this part shows some token prevent the opposite trend. Because for DeFi, you know, the function of their platform may be different from others. And for the algo stablecoin, as I mentioned, is maybe forced to revert. And sentiment for NFT, you know, their investors prevent different for other assets. Yeah. So the second part for the research is for application on predicting the liquidity by the machine learning. I use XGBoost. Even some people may argue that the LSTM and CNN and other deep learning algorithm maybe perform better on the accuracy. But I only use XGBoost because it provides 2 categories. The first is the first is perform better on selecting features, and the most interesting is could be used as both regression and classifier. So we can compare results to do the robustness check within one algorithm. The first is for the regression. It's our simple example on MKR. You can see the fitting degree is not good, right? But actually, we predict good on the trend of this. Sometimes we will focus more on their trend, not on their absolute value, because if you the liquidity go down, you may tolerate for a high slippage. And you can see the result here is very long. And I use the baseline for the 1 to 7 days lags of only use the total reserve itself as the features. And the improvement is for the adding the 1 to 7 days lags for other indicators as the features. And you can see here they provide the accuracy as well as the recall, because the negative trend is very important. Generally, the result was proved about 5%, and you can see we can control the error within 5%, and the accuracy is about 60 to 70%. And you can see we also extend our patterns to our partner Stellar. I picked the most popular pool of their native token to the USDC, and we can predict the USDC by the trend. Is also for the regression. You can see this time it's fitted very good, and we almost predict most of the significant change of the reserves. So I guess this pattern could be expanded to other AMM-DEX